the city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Wrath of God type stuff. Skies, rivers, and seas, boiling. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's charity.
Listen, I have no clue where we should start off. Probably maybe just giving people a shout out. Shout out to Mary Murr, always being first. Well, he does help produce the show and everything. So there is that. But we have Philip Story, Cato's Collection. We have Sergeant Schultz in the house, anime figure statue collector. Dia Go Boy. Did I say that right? Go Boy. Well, listen, I'm just trying to give people a shout out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting live from the beautiful sunny campus here at the University of Richmond. You listen to WDCE 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone for joining into the show. What has it said? Diego. Well, I should have known Diego. So Diego, shout out to Mud Scuffer too. But listen, let everybody know that we are broadcasting live. Tell all your friends, put it on your stories, do whatever you need to do. It is the Halloween special. You know, we've been doing these Halloween specials for what? About 6 years now. 6 years. So this is the 6th year we've done the Halloween show. I guess the third one we've done with the Professor Deep Cut Dave, who will be with us in a little bit. We're going to take a break here. Got a couple of more jams to play in just a few moments. Make sure that you are joining us, that when you do tell everybody, happy Joe Rogan Day. Yes, we'll get to all of that too. Did you see that last night? It was what, about 10:30? I was up until when? I was probably up, I would say probably till about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, it was a 3-hour talk. Did you learn anything? Well, I didn't learn anything. I mean, there's nothing for me to learn. Not saying anything. That's not the case. That's why I had the professor on. I'm just saying in this situation, nothing new came about. I may not say is it a nothing burger? Would the interview with Joe Rogan be considered a nothing burger? Somebody might be upset and they said, "Oh well, my gosh, it was such a great interview." I'm just sick and tired of all this. Listen, I know, and we have one more week to go. So you know what that means. That means that I have to come here next week and once again talk more about this election stuff. Well, I'm trying to dodge all of it right now. What? Well, no. I understand that's what happened. All right, fine. Give me the paper. Hold on. Give me the paper. Where did it go? Where's the paper? Oh my gosh, good grief. I have to sit there and have the newspaper all up. Make sure everybody knows that I am reading from the newspaper, right? Not just some blog in somebody's basement or whatever. But did you hear about this? I mean, this is on the front page of the Richmond Times-Dispatch, the newspaper of record here in Virginia. That's where we were awarded second place for the best morning radio show, was by this newspaper. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to sit there and think that this is not something serious? This is not a serious show? Winning awards, beating syndicated host, kicking one off the list last year, and this year dethroning the other one, has been sitting there blabbing his mouth in this area for the last 24 years. The one thing you can't do is you can't take back getting beat by a puppet. You can't take back getting beat by a puppet. You just can't. Far be it from me to sit there and have to go on a little slight tangent. But then people want to sit there and say this isn't serious. Well, I tell you, if this isn't serious, you know what is serious? Is this news article. If I can't be serious, then I'll let somebody else be serious for me as I'm reading these serious news articles. This is serious. People want to say, hey, Well, Sam, we just want you to just have all the fun and just do all the fun stuff and blah, 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 blah. No, listen, we got to get serious for a moment because we have to be serious. A judge to Virginia says add back 1,500 purged voters. The state must send mailings to all of them. Did you see Governor Youngkin? He was all over the news yesterday, just having a fit. Because a federal judge in Alexandria has ordered Virginia to reinstate more than 1,500 voters removed from its list of eligible voters in the wake of Governor Glenn Youngkin's August order for daily purges of voter rolls. Judge Patricia Giles said the order violated the National Voter Registration Act of 1993, which directs states to end any general purge of voter rolls 90 days before an election day. The election day. Whatever election day. 11 days before election day, the judge ordered that purged voters be added back to those rolls. Of course, President Trump on Friday condemned the federal judge's ruling that Virginia must restore those 1,500 voters purged from the rolls. He also said he will not stop in Virginia. Then said he will stop. He will stop one more time. So he'll stop one more time here in the state before Election Day. So sometime next week, former president's going to come around here. Later Friday, Trump campaign said that the former president will host a rally in Salem near Roanoke. And he's not held a campaign since June 28th. So let me see. In a Truth Post, Trump said that on Saturday he will call into a Chesterfield County rally featuring his daughter-in-law, Laura, the co-chair of the Republican National Committee. So she's here locally. And it's just interesting because you have all this going on. And of course, the only thing that's on my mind, people want to sit there and talk about this news story. We got the news story, like I said, right here, but get that out there. So we have the news story, but let's just be honest here. People want to talk about red versus blue. People want to talk about being divisive. I'll give you something that's more divisive than anything. Things that have you think that just because someone votes different than you, that is going to be the end of the world. Well, I would tell you there's something far greater that divides people than just red versus blue, Republican and Democrat. And that is candy corn. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You might think that it has everything to do with the election. The real reason why people are divided is because of candy corn. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey, wait a minute. Sam, what do you mean candy corn? Well, I tell you, there's two sides. There's only two sides. There's no in the middle. People want to sit there and say, oh, there needs to be an independent party of people who are just on the fence about candy corn. But I'm going to tell you right now, there is no fence sitting in candy corn land. Either you like it or you don't. I've heard people telling me before, they say, well, if you do like it, you might as well just go ahead and eat some chalk. People say, hey, you know what? You can even pretend when you have the blue chalk that it tastes like blueberries too, right? Because you're pretending that candy corn is even good and delicious. And then there's the people who love candy corn and swear by it. Those are the people that'll tell you that if you don't like candy corn during Halloween season, then we need to question your Halloween spirituality, your Halloween soul. And the fact that if you don't like candy corn, the question really is, do you have a Halloween soul? The spirit of Halloween is strong. But I tell you what, it's that one little piece of candy corn That one little tiny piece. That one little piece of candy corn that divides the masses, separates family members, ends friendships, causes divorce, all over a piece of candy. Oh, candy corn. Don't sit there and say that it's something else. I don't want to hear you tell me that it's about the election. I don't want you to tell me that you're upset that because probably within another week you'll start hearing Mariah Carey sing Christmas carols. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear no excuses. The only thing that really divides people every year during this time has nothing to do with the ballot box. It has everything to do with that small little piece of candy. That small little piece of candy that divides everybody. Figure Fight Club knows about it. We are the alliance. But I guess the question is the alliance going to be broken because of candy corn? Are there people in the alliance that are pro candy corn? What about the people that are anti candy corn? Will the alliance survive because of candy corn? Peeps. Isn't Peeps something that happens during the bunny rabbit holiday? Action Fuzz joining into the show. A couple of other people. There are always people in the alliance. But I'm telling you right now, can the alliance be broken because of candy corn? Alliances have been fallen, teams broken up, band members leaving and going independent. Why? People want to say, oh, it's because a difference of artistic creativity and all that stuff. The reason why bands break up is simple. It has nothing to do with music. It has everything to do with candy corn. Figure Fight Club says candy corn is so good. We know what side he's on. What about anybody else in the chat? What about you out there listening? Do you have an agenda against candy corn? Or do you think that candy corn has an agenda against you? These are the times in which we live. People want to say the end times. I'd say they might be right. Because there's something about candy corn that separates the sheep and the goats. Biblical prophecy, you might want to call it. Will the Antichrist be made out of candy corn? Some people think so. And they're already taking measures to protect themselves. Candy corn. The real reason the country is divided. Has nothing to do with going to the ballot box, has nothing to do with who you voted for. It doesn't matter about Orange 45. It doesn't matter about Chuckle House Harris. It doesn't matter about any of that. And people want to sit there and say that it does. But me and you know that candy corn quite possibly is the one piece of candy that represents Halloween more than any other. Coming up in just a few moments, we have Professor Dave. He'll be joining us in just a little bit. I'm going to play some, I got a few jams here, a couple things that he's sent over. And we'll get to these, I guess, right. We'll kick it off right now. All right, we'll go ahead and do that. Make sure that you're following me on social media. That's at NewsMan, all over social media. Kalix asks, have you ever done an evening show? So we used to do an evening show years ago. This show started out 6 years ago, over 6 years ago. We started with Drive Time. It was a Drive Time show from 5 to 7 on Saturday morning. Not Saturdays. It was on Thursday afternoon time. And eventually we moved over here to Saturday morning, just because the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning is alive and well with me. Because you realize that the government stole your cartoons, they stole away all your programming, and they stole everything and told you needed to learn more educational things like what like animal stuff and whatever. Do you ever remember seeing a math show? I never saw a math show. They always wanted to show you lions and tigers and all that jazz. No, they did. No, but I don't remember that. Just remember all of a sudden it was nothing but nature shows. Oh, we got to educate the kids, and you're just going to see have animals, showing them awkward positions that usually they would just see in National Geographic. Anyways, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's the reason. But anyways, Calix, yes, we used to do an evening show. Sometimes I am on shows, but we have been pulling that back lately. We are going through a few changes here behind the scenes. And you know what? It's just something about this felt. The felt, like I said, it needs to get tightened up a little bit. Maybe we need to get some felt injections. Yeah. Get a felt lift. That's what we're going to call it, a felt lift. And just tighten up the felt a little bit, tighten things up. Got to do that here pretty soon. James Purvis, 92, shout out to you. Just joined in too as well. Make sure you tell all your friends. We're going to be back at the top of next hour. Video. I'm going to give you the legend. That's right, the legend of the Richmond Vampire. Are you familiar with this? The legend of the Richmond Vampire. There is a vampire legend from here, from in Richmond, and it goes back a long time. Shout out to Kyle Desmond, who just came in. But yeah, so there's an actual story of a vampire here in Richmond, and we're going to talk about that at the top of next hour, about 11:11ish or so. But until then, going to play some more jams here. Going to get the best on the. Make sure that you have downloaded the Live 365 app. Harrison, yes, I can play the guitar. But make sure you download the Live 365 app. Download the Live 365 app. Search WDCE. You'll be able to listen to the radio-only segment that I'm about to do with Deep Cut Dave, Professor Deep Cut Dave. And WDCE.org, WDCE.net, WDCE 90.1 FM. Download the Live 365 app. Do we get everything? Make sure you follow me on social media at Sam Newsman. What else? Politicians are monsters. I can see that. Well, can't we all? We only have 10 more days until this election is over. Not! Broadcasting live from the beautiful sunny campus here at the University of Richmond. You're listening to WDCE 90.1 FM live on the Live 365 app, where you can continue to listen. He only get to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media, rubbing as well. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.
Hi, Brad. I've just come to tell you how fabulous I am. I'm not a local mood to suit myself. I've been a cynic for too many years. Playing doctor and nurse